Ever felt like your product decisions are just educated guesses? What if I told you there's a way to represent how users feel, think, and act when they are going through their journey? In this video, I'll show you how to map a user journey like a pro so that you can stop guessing and start building experiences that actually convert. Let's start with the basic. What is the user journey? A user journey mapping is a representation of the steps that a user takes from the moment they first interact with your product to the moment where they actually achieve the goal that you want them to convert to. What is a user journey mapping good for? When you're looking at conversion rate optimization, you want to understand, okay, what could be good and bad in here? I mean, when you look at the funnel, you have a great representation, which is a numerical representation of what's going on. However, you don't know why those numbers are worse than they could actually be. There is a part of the user journey that is within your control. And this is what is it that they experience when they are going through the regular steps that I want them to go through to reach that particular goal. As human beings, we think emotionally and then we rationalize. People say one thing, but then they do another. Even the most stoic person reacts emotionally. They just don't allow their emotions to take over. There is a thing that you should do in order to be able to really understand what's going on in the mind of your user. And this is mapping the user journey. How do you do that? You basically start nailing down all of the steps that a user is taking, all of the different touch points that a user is interacting with, and then associating an emotion that the user might feel with it. And you're not always going to know what the user is feeling like. However, you do know what would you think if you encounter that content yourself. You need to put yourself in the position of a user who has a specific intention and whether that intention is being met or not. If you were to ask about a specific purchase decision, you go to do a survey within a university or something like this, and you ask people, okay, which product would you choose, this one or this one? And there's people around you whose opinion you kind of care about because you're still in the validation phase of your life. And you're not gonna say what you really want to say. You're not gonna say what the real choice would be like. You would say something that makes you look good in that particular environment, something that doesn't make you look like a fool. I think there was an experiment in this book where basically when you come in a group within a restaurant, the decisions that the previous people are making are affecting the decisions of everyone else in a university environment. This is why doing user surveys in front of people doesn't always work. And even doing surveys on a one-to-one basis won't always work because depending on who you are, presence that you have, the user will tell you one thing or another. This is why digital tools are so valuable. Heat maps, screen recordings, things like that. This can help you understand what it is that a user is doing. You can go one step back and actually understand what the user is feeling by putting yourself in their shoes. When you know the query that user was looking for, it's a little bit easier to put yourself in the shoes of that user. One example that I thought of doing today was basically taking a paid campaign from a company that you probably know about. It's Blinkist. Blinkist has a product to summarize books. I want to look at it as if I was a user who had a specific intention and checking whether that intention is being met. I looked at SimilarWeb, tried to understand a little bit about their traffic. I've chosen a keyword which is improving general knowledge. It seemed to be a pretty good keyword for them. I don't know if you're aware of this, but performance landing pages are most optimized towards conversion. You need to put yourself in the situation like thinking, okay, what is it that I could be searching for when I'm looking for improving general knowledge? Knowing about this particular context can put you into the shoes of one user or another. So now let's assume I say, okay, I have forgotten most of the stuff that I once learned in high school or in university. I just want to improve my general knowledge a little bit. History, philosophy, geography, I don't know, anything that might be relevant for a day-to-day conversation or to become a more interesting person. Okay, so how do we look at it? Whenever you think about a user journey that you're gonna go through, you combine two different factors, closing your eyes to the point where everything's a little bit blurry and you see, okay, where is it that I should click? But before you click, you actually start going through the content. It will give us an idea into what it is that the user is feeling like. So I type my query, allgemein Wissen verbessern. Okay, general knowledge app, something about 7,500 titles. Okay, this makes sense. Let's click. Okay, we arrive to this landing page. When I go into this landing page, I see this bring more knowledge into your everyday life. Looks great. I click get started. Okay, and now we are going through a very painful experience because I see that this is a survey. I really dislike surveys. However, surveys are super useful if people are willing to complete them. When you start and you basically go through the first question, okay, this is a question about age. I click about the age. Then there's some information. 20 million people use Blinkist. Some summary about the New York Times. Some more logos. Gender. Okay. Then more text. Oh, great that you're here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Why are you adding me text in this particular moment? Trying to respond and then you're making me read more. Like, it goes against the whole concept, I believe, of what the value of this product is like. But anyway, choose the areas in which you want to improve. To me, areas are areas of life. Be more productive and live healthier. To me, those are goals. Okay, next text. Thank you for your honesty. Okay. Show us more about your personality. I see a tracker. This tracker has a little bit, I already kind of click a couple of times and it only shows the first bold being filled and a little bit of the line. And we continue. Okay, in this next one, are you interested in the big picture? Do you value details? I actually do both. If you're a product manager, you probably also do both. You look at the big picture, but you also need to go down into details. However, this option is not available. So I'm going to answer the big picture. Focusing on the big picture is great for solving problems, but details can also be important. We help you to focus equally on both. Okay, so I was saying I need both things. I do both things. However, you don't give me the option. Then I choose one of them, and here you're telling me, okay, yeah, focusing on the big picture is great. However, details are also important. You're like, just slap me in the hand. I chose an answer based on the options you gave me, and you're basically telling me wrong, like, I feel a little bit stupid for having answered that question. Then, do you always know exactly what you want? Yeah, kind of. I often doubt myself and my abilities when I make a mistake. Okay, do you know about affirmations? Do you know why affirmations are important? Because whatever you say to yourself affects the way that you see yourself. I'm giving myself a negative affirmation. So basically, I'm making myself look bad by reading this survey. Do you see where I'm going with this? My feeling is not exactly good when I'm reading this question, but which applies more to you? A bit of both. Okay, if you're asking someone what applies to them, don't give the option first of saying any of the options, or a bit of both, or neither of them. Like, they haven't read the options yet. This is 101 in survey making, but you'd be surprised how many people make this mistake. Okay, let's say we're followers. Hopefully you're not. Without self-knowledge, no one can reach their full potential. People like you are often great team players, but you can get even more out of yourself. Discover your strengths and growth potential with us. So you're again telling me I did something wrong. I often find it difficult to make quick decisions. Why do you ask people that? You're again giving a negative connotation to someone's behavior, like regardless whether they are like this or not. It is actually better to say, I make quick decisions, yes or no. Whatever is the good way of representing that statement, that is how you write it. And then you allow a user to confirm or to deny. It is normal to have concerns before making decisions, but this can often be a hindrance in everyday life. So far, what seems like a hindrance is all of this text that I need to be reading through. Even the second bowl has not been filled up yet, and I've already been for a while. I often lack the inner strength to accept challenges. I'm in this survey. How can you say I lack the inner strength to accept challenges? This is quite a challenge. Denial on that question. How do you rate yourself? Both. Is this different from mobile? 1 second. No, in mobile it's actually the same. Both extrovert, introvert. I think an intern did this survey because kind of feels like someone who didn't have experienced this type of questionnaire. Does regular exercise help you perform better at work? What kind of silly question. Regular physical activity strengthens your concentration, memory, and lowers your stress level. Why so much text? Like, just let me finish. Do you want to improve your time management? I'm already so tired of this survey because it has been asking me questions that are not related to general knowledge. I just want to learn general knowledge. I want to know more about history. I want to know more about Napoleon Bonaparte, for example. I want to learn more about Nietzsche. Like, call it whatever you want. Like, I want to learn general culture. I don't want to be spending my time doing the survey. But now, when I want to leave, there's no to escape. How do you feel about that? Imagine you're annoyed, you don't like the questions, they are not serving your purpose. You cannot leave this journey. Like, you're stuck in here. You click the logo, you cannot go home because obviously it's a performance landing page. More text, more questions, more text. God, oh my God. There was even a question about the sex life. Do you really want to be asking? Are you satisfied with your sex life? Do you want to learn to better understand your body and your desires? Like, who is this targeting? Like, I don't understand. What are these questions? They are like so cryptic right now. They are making it super awkward even to create this content. I don't know, like, it's next level awkward. Like, this is not stuff you should be asking your users. Oh my God. Do you like your job? Maybe a change makes sense? It's a challenge, but with a good plan, everything is possible. We'll support you. So you're suggesting me to change my job? Do you have a healthy work-life balance? Yes, that's good to hear. Okay, now let's say the no. Healthy work-life balance helps you stay productive. I know that. I did a video about that. You can take a look. It's a little bit intense, but maybe it will give you something to think about. With your growth plan, you'll find your personal balance and stay full of energy. Wonderful. I think I'm not making full use of my professional potential. In a survey, you don't want to do negative affirmations. Are you satisfied with your financial situation? Yes. That sounds good. We'll try to address other topics in your growth plan. Okay, I'm gonna say no. We appreciate your honesty. After this quiz, you'll get access to countless bestsellers about money and finance. You know, I don't know. You don't know how to improve your financial situation? At Blinkist, you'll find countless titles about money and finance. Do you often feel like you're not good enough? Okay, I think I might have gone through the wrong website, and this might be a funnel to send affiliate links to BetterHelp. You know BetterHelp, this therapy app? You'll feel so bad about yourself after it that you'll only want to do therapy or talk to a friend or talk to a family member, someone. Do you often compare yourself with others? This is so horrible. Now, select the titles you find interesting. Why would I know what this book is about? Just by the cover? Not knowing it doesn't mean I don't find it interesting. Knowing it doesn't mean I want to read it again. What's up with this? Good choice. Thanks again for your honesty. Be patient. You'll get there soon. Do you have a specific growth goal? I wanted to improve my general knowledge. Okay, it's not there. Blinkist is personalized for you. Do you practice self-reflection? No, I do. Are you steadfast in difficult situation? No, I am. Do you like to learn by listening? No, I do. 28 million downloads. Before it was a different number. Do you always follow through on what you start? Only on this survey. Personal growth plan is ready. The plan for your personal growth is perfectly tailored to your answers. Now the worst part about this is like I see this curve going up in 1 month. 28 books. 28 books. Here you're offering me a summary of books, and now you're putting this uplifted curve to understand that I'm going to be reading 28 books. You're not talking about 28 summaries. You're not talking about how much time will take me to read 28 books. You're basically making an uphill journey or task, like the pencil suggests even like homework, sort of basically task. And you're telling me I'm going to need to read 28 books in 1 month. That means like 1 book per day. This got me completely out of this whole idea that I'm going to be listening to book summaries or reading book summaries or something like that, and just put a lot of pressure. Like I just feel like, oh my God, when am I going to do that? I have a life, so how am I going to be reading 1 book per day? Is this a book club? What is this? Like, why is it? Then achieve your goals, enter your email address. I don't want to stay here. Okay, when I type anything, it allows me to keep going. I don't think there's a validation in the form. There's not. I'm going to go to home now. Bring more knowledge into your everyday life. Get the best knowledge from books, podcasts, and experts in 15 minutes within the Blinkist app. I like that headline. The headline is pretty good, but then they're mixing everything together: books, podcasts, and experts. And then this 15 minutes thing that I also saw in the ad, and finally in the Blinkist app, with the Blinkist app. And I'm not in the Blinkist app. So what I'm getting out of this is like when I click get started now, they're going to take me to the app ad. No, it is the wonderful survey. I'm not going to do the survey. Sorry. Then the best knowledge in 15 minutes. I like the screens about how the player looks like, the summary maybe, although I'm slightly confused about what is the most recommended part, if it's the text version or if it's the listening. More knowledge in less time. Yeah, this is good. Boost your personal development with the key messages of books and podcasts. Knowledge that will help you move forward. More than 7,500 titles. I feel like I already saw this number a couple of times. Made for your goals. No matter what interests you, or curators and experts have prepared it for you. Get started now. Let's try what this button does. It is the survey. Great app, addicting, blah blah, perfect for waiting times, morning coffee, evening before bed, extremely well written, thorough, easy to use. Renee, 5 stars. I like this one. The thing is, whenever someone adds so many use cases, it feels like it's someone who was meant to write that review, who was asked to what to write. Sometimes it feels better when it's just, I don't know, maybe it's my perception here. Then 36 million downloads on all platforms. It was something about 28, wasn't there? Or am I imagining it? So why is it 28 and not 36? For 4.7 stars, average rating in App Store and Google Play, more than 10 years. This is good, more than 10 years. 4.7 stars is also good. The million downloads. Why are you not not prompting me to download the app? If you're talking to me about reviews from the app, downloads in the app, why are you not prompting me to download the app? No prompt to download the app. This is one thing that a lot of companies do slightly wrong. This is something I had to raise in a previous company that I was working with. The thing is, when you have someone who's working towards growth and who's aiming at converting people on the website, their goal kind of goes against the person who's working in the app, because it is not in their best interest for a person to go to the app. They convert on the website means they capture the lead. They don't care about attribution and so on. So it is actually best for these type of teams like to measure not only acquisitions through the apps, but also onboarding into the app, clicking a particular button to download the app, even if it's a deep link. We want to bring them into the app as soon as possible. Unless your onboarding experience sucks, in which case I don't recommend it. It's better to handle it in the website. It is always better to onboard the user as quickly as possible into the app. What interests you most? Is there's a lot of categories. You can even learn about philosophy going back to school times. I love it. Then the books. These are the same books that I saw in the survey. Why are they the same books? Okay, so knowledge that suits you. This is kind of nice. By reading, listening, exchanging ideas with others. With Blinkist, you can flexibly bring more knowledge into your life. This is really nice. That sounds nice. Bestseller summaries of bestsellers. This sounds repetitive. Guides from real experts. Your knowledge with others. The knowledge with others, wouldn't this be like a book club? Like the official term, wasn't it book club? I might be speaking from ignorance, but I would say that is a book club. More than 31 million people grow with Blinkist. It was 35 or 30 something, 34, 28. What is the final number? Do you really want a user to be wondering why you're changing numbers so much? Maybe not. The reviews shown here come from the Apple App Store. Blinkist has no way of verifying the authenticity itself. However, both providers, there is some suspicion that reviews are not real. Life-changing, being able to grasp the main message of a book so quickly allows you to grow so quickly in virtually every area of your life. Quickly and quickly, bestseller and bestseller. Now I understand why people think the reviews are not real, because it sounds like the review was written by the same person who wrote the copy. Doesn't mean that's the case. 95% of all Blinkist users read significantly more than before. I think this was due to going through that survey. I'm joking. But this is actually a good fact, but that survey really killed me. 91% of all Blinkist users establish better habits. This is really good. 87% have changed their lives for the better with Blinkist. This is also very good. All these facts, all of these numbers seem like someone from consulting was asking to have this. More than 1,500 companies rely on Blinkist. So I was looking for improving general knowledge. Now I see companies. Improving general knowledge at work. Work. Do I like work? Do I not like work? How do you feel about work? How do you feel about work? And when you're then waiting in line at the checkout or cooking, if you've been in a German checkout in the supermarket, it goes crazy fast. No time to read is nothing of the past. Housework, in the car, commute training, tags, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, commute training. When I'm training, I kind of want to be motivated in training. Maybe going walking. When I go walking, I listen to a lot of podcasts and audio about training. Just want to pump myself up, listen to hard music, techno, deep house, something. How can I use Blinkist? Okay, these questions are good. 7,500 books. How many times have I seen this? Okay, in the case of the millions of downloads of the millions of users first, decide for one of the number, not the two. Create a variable somewhere on the website and use that variable everywhere. I don't know what platform you're using for performance landing pages, because in such case you might need to do a little bit of refactoring. Don't hard code it. You see that this hard coding transformed into multiple data points about the same data point that are different. You don't want to be confusing people with numbers. How do I cancel the trial subscription? You can easily cancel the trial subscription in the settings in your app or via your browser. If this I don't like, it's actually easier to add an inline link, takes you to the website that explains step by step how to cancel. It makes your user feel empowered, makes them lose the fear towards going into that subscription trial. Question about the trial subscription or customer service is there for you. I feel it's a little bit weird to have people reaching out to customer service for the trial. I would want them to reach out maybe about all service, the one that they are paying for, or learn more about what your subscription includes rather than free trial. I'm at the end of the homepage. Now, most of the users don't get to the end of the homepage. But let's say someone reached between 80 and 90% who just stay on the top, but it's only the new users who stay there unless your UI is telling them to do something else. So you need to be careful with what it is that your UI is telling them to do. Let's say I'm here, I want to register. There's no place for me to register. So I do it from the Navi. Get started now. See the quiz. Login, I don't have a login. Prices. Here, I'm going to prices. Bring more growth into your life. 20% discount for 20 minutes, 0 seconds. Okay, this is not moving. It's a pity. Countdowns. I like them a lot. They tend to work well on users. Creates this ephemeral effect. So the only difference is Blinkist AI. My gut feeling tells me this is not the only difference. Maybe the difference is the amount of content that you can consume per day. Would never choose the first version, the first option, the Pro. If the only thing I'm getting is this Blinkist AI, won't they go into ChatGPT and ask them to summarize books? I don't know if this is helping you here. We have automatically given you a discount on your first subscription. By continuing, you agree to be charged 111 euros 98 cents as a welcome offer. Why is the euros you signed before the number? Is it adapted from the American system? Is the website tailored to the American system? Like, come 10 times more productive with Blinkist AI. Summarize videos, podcasts, store and combine insights from different sources. Deepen your knowledge by asking questions. Okay, I don't know what Blinkist AI is. Hard for Blinkist. Join 34 million people who love Blinkist. How many is it at the end? This is a different number again, isn't it? Reviews, this is nice. And again, the price. Why is the price twice? Okay, I'm discarding this. Skeptical, try Blinkist Pro. Okay, the problem is it's the exact same thing. So in the previous landing, I saw prices twice at the top and at the bottom of all. And now it's exactly the same content. Oh no, okay, it changes a little bit, but how it works. Your trial subscription starts today. Have 7 days free access to all titles. And reminder by email will remind you before your trial ends. In 5 days, your premium subscription starts. Cancel by this date or become a premium subscriber. Do I have the subscription free for 7 days or not? We've automatically given you a discount on your first subscription. This is what I was thinking about. Same thing as before. And now it's here again. Your trial period is only available once per person. Here you're telling me trial is not free. I'm confused about this pricing now. This was the journey. It wasn't super thrilling for me. It was basically making me say out loud or think in my head about things that I normally don't think about. So it was making me feel bad about myself. It's like, I guess I'm not used to making those negative questions to myself, and the way I approach them are quite different. The moment I'm seeing them so negative, it's like raising a little bit of anxiety. The way that I basically put this, I've only included within this user journey map that I'm going to show you right now. Like this, in this journey map that you see right here, basically I've included the steps of interacting with the hero, going to the first CTA, like reading the content. After going to the first CTA, going through the quiz, trying to go through the different stages, which for me are pretty horrible. I'm not saying they are for everyone, but for me they are certainly horrible. And then finally quitting that because I'm able to escape the validation of the final email and start in the homepage, which brings me to very happy times and moments of being ecstatic. However, the moment I see information that doesn't match with what I've already read, like the millions of users or the millions of downloads not matching, my head is like, why are the numbers not matching? What is the problem here? Are the numbers fake? What is exactly wrong with here? Basically, it makes me confused. It's not a factor that is throwing me off completely, but it does raise questions in my head. So I'm going to be searching, Googling after, okay, what is going on with Blinkist? Then again, I see additional information and I get happy, but then I see the information about companies and I'm thinking about work, so I'm not happy. Then I see that I can do stuff no matter where. That makes me happy. But then I see the Apple Car and Auto and it draws my whole attention. So I'm like confused. I'm like, why? And then I see the FAQs and it kind of, I'm like, oh, okay. And then I see they get started again with all my hopes and dreams and I find the survey. So frustrating survey. So for me, this is basically like the lowest point. I haven't added any more like in the pricing and whatever because I think you're getting the drill just by saying this. What you want to do with this is basically take each of these points and basically push them up. And how do you do that? You go to a specific section that causes a little bit of discomfort and try to understand, okay, how it is that I can improve this. The survey itself is a whole process. It's like there are people who are specialized in writing surveys for a reason. You don't need to be a specialist, but you need to have a little bit of empathy of thinking what it is that a person might be thinking about when they are reading through it. In any case, even the final part of all this graph with going up, like all of that created so much tension. It's like created a burden in my head. It wasn't a nice journey. But again, this is is a journey for someone looking for improving general knowledge from paid search who came through a performance landing page and then went through the journey. Doesn't mean that other journeys are not good. This particular journey has a lot of problems. This is why I picked it. I picked this particular journey because the generic term is more prone to not be covered correctly. The less you segment, the more your landing page is gonna provoke suffering in some users. So it is actually a good example to talk about discomforts and talk about pain points. Once you have these pain points, well, you saw the type of actions that I actually wanted to take. So with this, you transform this into a table and you associate the emotions to the actions that I was taking. In terms of the survey, if I wasn't doing the video, I wouldn't have finished it. I would have left. It is highly probable that if you're able to feel a particular way, your user is as well. You want to understand, okay, what is the action that I actually desire? How can I change this to drive this action? And this is how you propose changes. These are small, they're not even features. They're like more like tasks because this is more CRO topics rather than proper feature, proper user problem. Like a user not being able to register is quite tricky. Like I'm not gonna lie. The fact that I was clicking around so many times to get started and it was triggering the survey, you could say leave survey for later, register first. Like you want to collect my email first. You're always gonna lose a lot of people but you really don't want to make it impossible for someone to register. And it was only possible from the price page, which was a little bit disappointing. And then you drive a plan. Those critical stages like checkout and registration, sign up, whatever you want to call it, those need to be smooth, need to work fine, need to work more than fine, need to work perfect, and then focus on the text, the copy, the button, the color, the interaction, everything else. This is all for today. Like the way that you represent your journey, you can use whatever. I use the spreadsheets, much simpler, but you can use whichever tool you want. If you enjoy the content, feel free to like. If you think this can help someone, feel free to share. If you have any kind of remark, positive or negative, write a comment. And if you want to hear more about this type of content, just subscribe. Thanks a lot and see you soon.